Here we had this really tragic plane crash last week,
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
and within hours it was politicized. And I think, wow, but this wasn't politicized in Korea, right?
무안공항 참사 후 한국에서는 그 어느 때보다 자성을 촉구하는 목소리가 높았습니다. 국민 모두가 하나 된 마음으로 애도한 것은 물론 저비용 항공사가 정비 인력 확충에 나섰고 정부는 무안공항뿐만 아니라 참사 원인 중 하나로 지목되는 콘크리트 둔덕이 있는 타 공항까지 개선하겠다 밝히는 등 비극적인 참사가 다시는 되풀이되지 않도록 하겠다는 확고한 의지를 각계각층에서 내보였죠. 헌데 이런 상황을 한국인보다 더 관심 있게 지켜봤다는 이가 있습니다. 바로 펜실베니아 주립대학교 사회학과 샘 리처드 교수입니다. 오늘은 무안공항 참사 후 한국인들의 대처 방식에 대해 해외에서는 어떻게 바라보는지 샘 리처드 교수의 강의를 통해 전해드리겠습니다.
Hey, so tell me, so it was at the end of December. There was an airplane crash in Muan Airport in the south of Korea. And it was 179 people died and 2 flight attendants survived. And so it was a major, major catastrophe. And there was a week of mourning or a national mourning period. How many days was it?
So it was starting from that day to like 7 days. So it was 29th to January 4th.
And how was it announced? Like, how did you know? Was it just everywhere, all over the media that
all over the media, and the government actually declared that it's going to be the national mourning period, which means like the entire country collectively grieves for the victim of that major tragedy.
So when you say collectively grieved, what do you mean? Like what did people do?
So in terms of government act, they set up like a altar in all 70 major cities for citizens to pay like their respect. But also public officials should wear like black ribbons as a symbol of mourning. The key point here is that not only government do that, but how Korean citizens and media went like beyond these official measures to show that grief. And people just don't do what they do normally, like party or post like something goofy in their social media, or even like the entertainment programs were all shut down to show the respect.
So there are a lot of, say, like comedy shows and various channels and so on. So those shows just didn't air that week?
Completely shut down. And most of the time in the broadcasting station were used to like for the news coverage, for the updates, not the entertainment shows at all.
Wow. Were there sporting events? But there were, but they just weren't on television or
exactly. So even like the end of the year in Korea, we have like a year-end show to like an award show recognizing the year's top actors, dramas, and variety shows. And it's like a thing of a family to watch that all together, like party together. But this year that didn't happen, and it was aired like just a week ago, like end of January.
Wow.
People always think of it as, what if that was our family? We shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
What if that was my friend?
Wow.
Mornings is not like a personal choice, but it's like an unspoken social expectation that everyone participates in some way, whether that's like a public behavior or in media or like a really personal actions doing the charity funding. But for Koreans, it feels like emotion of this grief should be shared collectively. So there is like a strong cultural belief that even if I'm not directly affected, I must mourn together with the nation because it might happen to my family as well.
무안 참사 후 한국에서는 어떤 방식으로 국가 애도 기간을 보냈는지 물은 샘 리처드 교수. 그는 실제 강의에서도 당시 한국에 있었다는 한 학생에게 당시 어떻게 애도했는지 묻습니다.
So you were in Seoul in this period, right?
I was in Incheon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about what Suman said? Do you have anything that you would add to it?
Definitely, like, she has covered most of it. Like, the whole country collectively goes into mourning. I feel like your behavior during this time is very important.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is true that, like, I feel like everyone goes into mourning because, especially what happened could have happened to anyone. When it was happening, I actually saw it live on television.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my sister has said that she feels something like personal towards it because I'm the only one in the family that really goes out like of the country a lot. And like during that period, like that week when it happened, I also got on the plane to come back here. And I think she was really worried because
In this time, like, what are some things that you did that were different than what you would have done?
it's a time where like it's very sensitive. Maybe watch your words that might affect other people.
That could affect the people who suffered, who are
Yeah.
directly connected.
이뿐만이 아닙니다. 샘 리처드 교수는 비극적인 사고 앞에서 전 국민이 애도하는 한국의 모습을 보며 미국과 너무나 상반된 모습에 놀랐다는 발언을 하기도 했는데요. 실제로 무안 참사 발생 후 미국에서도 비행기 추락 사고가 발생했었죠. 어떤 상황이었는지 영상으로 확인해 보시죠.
We were in the Halloween crush 2 years ago, in which so many people died. It's a very similar thing, a period of mourning. So this isn't a one-off thing. I mean, this is fairly regular when there's a big tragedy. It's just so very different here, right? And the communitarian moral orientation in Korea, this kind of sense of right and wrong is so much determined by what's right and wrong for the community. That it's so strong in Korea compared to in the United States and most countries of the West. And there's good and bad in this, but the good, this is a good side of it. The fact that a nation could come together and feel the pain, like the families, the victims, and not just the families, but all the friends, and you feel, you can feel held by an entire nation. Here we had a just really tragic plane crash last week.
Exactly.
And within hours it was politicized. And I think, wow. But this wasn't politicized in Korea, right? This tragedy.
Not that big of an event.
Yeah. No, it's like people just set their politics aside for a moment and yeah. Well, that's cool. It's nice because I think this is one of those parts of Korean culture that, for me as a sociologist, I find so fascinating and so really thoughtful and interesting and cool. I really appreciate it in the modern age how you as a nation can have a response like that.